Yeah, this is fascinating. So, back in the 50s, what scientists and physicians noticed was that people that lived kind of around the Mediterranean Sea, they seemed to do better than some of the European countries, and even compared to the United States, their health was better. They had less cardiovascular disease and longer longevity. So that's how we really started exploring this kind of Mediterranean diet, or what I should actually call the Mediterranean lifestyle, because it's a pattern of kind of behavior. And this is really looking at kind of the foods we eat, what we do in terms of our exercise, and then how we do it in terms of our social behavior. So in terms of the foods we eat, the Mediterranean style diet, which is, shown to have cardiovascular outcomes benefit, is a diet that really emphasizes lots of, fresh fruits and vegetables. It emphasizes nuts, beans, whole grains, and legumes. It looks at olive oil as the principal source of fat as opposed to butter or margarine. And you can have, fish and seafood, kind of lean meats as part of this diet. And it also kind of dictates what we shouldn't eat, which is, a lot of red meat, a lot of sugary sweet things, a lot of processed foods, all of the things that can really create a lot of inflammation and problems. And, because of A, its ease of adoption, and B, just the dramatic impact it can have on our cardiovascular morbidity and mortality, the American Heart Association has now incorporated the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle really into its tool called Life's Essential 8. And if you haven't actually calculated this number for yourself or your family members, I would encourage you to go to their website and do so, because you put in your kind of day-to-day diet lifestyle choices, including your sleep patterns, and then it sort of spits out for you how you can do better to really ensure that you're hitting life's essential 8, which if you hit, according to the American Heart Association, the majority of heart attacks and strokes are preventable with these lifestyle changes. Yes. So let's talk about what that Mediterranean lifestyle looks like. So this, looked at about 110,000 kind of middle-aged adults living in Europe, in England, Scotland, and Wales. And it really sort of was a population-based study looking at these older adults, trying to sort of see if their Mediterranean lifestyle could change their risk of dying, could change their chance of having cancer, and could affect their cardiovascular morbidity and mortality. So it assigned kind of points to you based on what you were doing. And it was broken down into sort of 3 different blocks. So the first block was Mediterranean food consumption. So that was what we eat, and that had the most number of points. The second block was kind of Mediterranean diet habits, which sort of looked at whether you snack, whether you eat, add salt to your food, whether you're eating refined grains. And then the third block looked at something called social relationships or conviviality, which was how do you behave at meal times? Do you sit down with others? Do you eat with others? Do you eat alone in front of the television? What exactly you're doing and how that can impact your life. So you got points for each of those blocks. And then what we saw was actually really dramatic. So we followed these people for almost 10 years, 9.5 years, and we gave them points for each of their behavior. And there was a dose response curve, meaning the more points that you had for adhering to this sort of Mediterranean lifestyle, the less likely you were to have all-cause or cancer mortality. So less likely to die from any cause or to die from cancer. And then if you specifically looked at kind of the lifestyle block, which was exercise and those types of habits, you actually had a lower cardiovascular mortality as well. So to me, that is really dramatic. I mean, we literally found the secret sauce for living longer, and that is adhering to this Mediterranean lifestyle, which includes not just the diet, not just the physical activity, but also how we engage with others, the social behavior and the social interactions. I would say the most important thing here is that it's not just what you do, but how you do it. And so we need to keep in mind that, of course, what we eat, food is the best medicine for our body, and what we put inside our body is critically important, but also what our state of mind and our mood is while we're putting it inside. Are we spending time with others, which we know that loneliness is a huge problem, especially here in the United States, where a lot of times people eat in the car, they eat on the go, they eat in front of the television, they eat while doing work at their computer. And this is really emphasizing that that's not how our brain and our bodies were wired, and that's not what we should be doing. Of course, maintaining a healthy lifestyle with lots of exercise is important, which we see a lot in the Mediterranean countries. But I would also add that sleep is also very important. And that was the other piece that they looked at here. And that's another thing here in the United States we tend to underemphasize. We always cut away at our sleep to add to our working hours during the day. And that's really something we need to move away from. So the Mediterranean lifestyle is something that's accessible to us. It's within our control. And by adopting it, we can dramatically decrease our mortality, our risk of cancer, and even cardiovascular disease. You know, I would say that it's one of the most flexible diets out there. And I use the word diet in air quotes because it's not really even a diet. It's more just sort of a paradigm shift, changing the way you think. So it's not very restrictive. It's just telling you to be mindful of what you're eating. Try to put lots of fruits and vegetables and colors. Try to put good food inside your body, real food, not fake food. And you know, don't get carried away by eating things that are processed or full of sugar or full of sodium, because those are easy to access on the go. But really change the way that we approach food, approach our eating, our patterns. And by doing that, you can do it on your own terms. So even if you're a busy professional, or even if you're a busy mom, or what have you, you can design a Mediterranean lifestyle that suits your schedule, that suits your life, and that can dramatically, you know, improve your health and reduce your chance of needing medication and such. And so to me, that's tremendous. That's putting the power back in our hands to change our longevity and feel better every single day.